Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to this Talking and Grubbing live stream. Good morning, first of all. I hope everybody's Sunday morning is good. Well, since it's morning still, I'm about to grub on some of this instant Quaker oatmeal, apple, and cinnamon. As you come into this live stream, like the video, join the chat. Now, finally, I've been waiting to do this preview for a while. Now, it's time for the Western Conference Semifinals preview. You can also check out my Eastern Conference Semifinals preview as well. This is good. And the first matchup I'm about to break down is the matchup that we all been waiting for. The Golden State Warriors versus the Houston Rockets. This is a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals where the Warriors knocked off the Rockets in 7 games. Also, Chris Paul missed the last 2 games due to injury. This here feels like the real Western Conference Finals. Now, it took the Warriors 6 games to knock off the Clippers. You know, the Clippers definitely gave the Warriors all they can handle in that series by coming back from a large margin such as 31 points on the road, also winning a game 5 on the road as well. But Kevin Durant closed them out Friday by scoring 50 points. As a matter of fact, he had 38 points by the end of the first half. Okay, Intelligent Psycho, man. Good morning. It's going good. How you doing? But also, Steph Curry suffered an injury in Friday's game. So he's definitely going to be a little bit limited in this series. Now, the Rockets, they took care of the Utah Jazz in 5 games. And James Harden has been a man amongst boys in these playoffs after having so many failures in previous playoffs. He's come up with clutch shots. You know, he also, excuse me, has had some remarkable games against the Jazz in that series. Chris Paul is Chris Paul. He's doing his usual. But where the Warriors are definitely going to be, in this series, the Warriors are definitely going to miss Boogie Cousins, who ended up being injured in Game 2 against the Clippers. Not only he could play defense, but he could also rebound the ball well, and he could keep bigs such as a Clint Capella, a Nene outside of that paint. But now, since the Warriors are missing that interior presence in Boogie, they're not going, guys like Clint Capella and Nene, they could definitely camp inside the paint. Because the Warriors, they're not a great rebounding team. Matter of fact, they've never been a great rebounding team throughout, throughout their whole championship run. That's where their weaknesses have been in rebounding. And also, it's also going to come down to the bench, where Houston definitely has an advantage. Because I still stick by the fact that the Warriors bench is not the same as it was a few years ago. But man, this is just going to be a highly contested series. It's going to be hard fought. Man, I wish this was played in the. Sometimes I wish the NBA would reseed teams like the WNBA and NHL do, but unfortunately they don't, because this series should be a Western Conference Final series. So I've gone back and forth on this prediction. You know, I wrestled with this all day yesterday on this prediction, but I'm going to go with the Warriors in a hard-fought 7 games. Intelligent Psycho says he's sticking with the Warriors. He feels that it's going to go 7-2. I definitely agree. Now, on to the next matchup is the Denver Nuggets versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, the Nuggets are coming off of a hard-fought 7 games against the San Antonio Spurs. Last night's game 7 was classic. I mean, the Nuggets, they built as a lead as large as 17 points, but the Spurs came back late in the fourth quarter to cut it to 2. But Jamal Murray hit a big shot to seal the game, as well as the series for the Denver Nuggets, and he definitely has been going off in these playoffs. Against San Antonio, he averaged 19 per game, as well as 6 assists. And Nikola Jokic, a.k.a. the Joker, who I definitely think is slept on as a big man, he scored 16 points per game, had 8 assists, as well as 8 rebounds against the Spurs. And he capped it all off by having a triple-double in Game 7. And also, now Portland, we all know Damian Lillard is definitely going to come with it. He had a hell of a series against OKC, including the buzzer beater that knocked off OKC in Game 5. Plus, you know, you got CJ McCollum, who definitely does his thing. But also, there's some guys on the team that kind of get lost in the shuffle, like Enes Kanter, who they picked up from the Knicks during the trade deadline. Also, Mo Harkless, who definitely was key off the bench against OKC in the first round. As a matter of fact, he is some crucial free throws that led the comeback to ultimately the Portland Trailblazers winning the game as well as the series. Grandma Cheap Cheap, good morning. How you doing? How's the weather out there? Thanks for joining me. But yeah, it's definitely going to come down to the bench play for either team. Excuse me. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention Paul Millsap, who's a veteran. But it's ultimately going to come down to the bench play for either team in this series. Now, I like cats like Will Barton for Denver, Gary Harris. Once again, for the Trailblazers, definitely like Mo Harkless. I think he definitely doesn't get enough credit that he deserves. And it's also a shame Nokic, who is an underrated big man, it's a shame that he's out for the playoffs due to his injuries. But the Trailblazers have a solid bench too in Steph's younger brother, Seth. You got a veteran, Rodney Hood. Excuse me. Also, you got Evan Turner, who definitely gets slept on as well. Now, I know people may not be looking at this series as hard as the Warriors and the Rockets, but this is definitely going to be another great series. You know, you got 2 young teams. You got both, you know, coaches that's really trying to make a name for themselves in the NBA, and Mike Malone, who was also assisted with the Cleveland Cavaliers during LeBron's first stint in Cleveland, and Terry Stotts, who was an assistant coach on the Dallas Mavericks 2011 championship team. Weather is beautiful, 70s expected. Can't stay low, water. Congratulate your live show. Oh, thank you. Well, it's raining up here. Shoot. I wish I could send some of this rain and cold down to y'all. Just sitting up bragging. But man, like I said, this is also going to be another great series. You know, you got 2 young teams, 2 young stars. And I definitely can't wait for this series to match up. So I'm gonna go with the Trailblazers in 6. This oatmeal about gone. So I can't wait for this second round to kick off starting today with the Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks, then the Golden State Warriors and Houston Rockets. That kicks off the Rockets and Warriors. They're going to tip off at 3:30. The Bucks and the Celtics, they're going to tip off at 1 o'clock. Both games are going to be on ABC. Portland and Denver, they're going to tip off tomorrow night. As y'all already know, Toronto and Philly tipped off last night, where Toronto just blew the brakes off of Philly and took a 1-0 lead in this series. So I'm glad the second round has started, and I can't wait for the West to kick off. It's gonna be a fun one. Also, check out my Eastern Conference second round preview right now. And also, this Wednesday night, I'm gonna be doing another live stream. It's all about my hate for fanboys. So please come and join me and check it out. And no, I'm not just talking about LeBron fanboys. I'm talking about Jordan fanboys, Kobe fanboys, just fanboys in general. So please join me for that live stream, as I'm going to have a special guest. So anyways, that's it for this Western Conference second round preview. I'm definitely going to make a conference finals preview as soon as the matchups are set. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. QC out. Enjoy the rest of your day.